Hey guys, Portia here, and today I want to discuss the pros and cons of sublimation versus HTV for custom t-shirts. Hopefully this will help you decide which method is best for you. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay guys, a couple of notes before we get started. If I keep looking off to the side or down, I'm not distracted. These are my notes here and I want to stay on task because I have a way of going down a rabbit hole and not actually staying on task. So that's what that is for. And also I have several shirts here to help us or guide us through, so I can show you examples of the pros and cons as I talk about them. So let's go ahead and talk about sublimation first. We'll do the pros and cons. And one of the first things that I absolutely love about sublimation is the vibrant colors. Sublimation does create like a high detailed quality print. You actually can see what it is that you are putting on the design, so you don't have to really be careful with, oh well, is that too intricate or anything like that, because you're going to want to get the vibrancy and color and then also the intricacy of detail. So the first shirt that I do want to show you, I did this a while back in another video, and what attracted me to this particular design was it was very detailed, and I like how the colors like kind of like mixed in or create a little bit of ombre effect and then bled into one another. So it was definitely like, oh wow, this is definitely like brilliant in color. The next thing I want to talk about is durability, because with this particular shirt, I think I want to say, and this is a hoodie, y'all, I want to say I did design this about 2 years ago. So of course I don't wear it every day, but except the color has not faded. It's there, y'all. It's in there. It hasn't gone anywhere. It definitely does mix well with the type of hoodie that I did pick out. Another pro of the sublimation is the soft feel. So there's no texture here. It's not raised or anything. The dye sublimation design honestly does become a part of the actual fabric itself. So you don't have to worry about like any like peeling or flaking or fading or anything like that. And then the last thing I want to mention is, and then I'll show you guys another design I did as well. This is sublimation. So Minnie Mouse here is sublimation, but this is pretty much a mixed media shirt, so to speak, because these are hot press rhinestones. So I did the LV and the hot press rhinestones, and then I did Minnie here in sublimation. And once again, very soft, very vibrant, a part of the actual design itself. The design is a part of the fabric itself. And then the last point I'll bring up about, or a pro about sublimation, is it's cost effective. So this is really good sublimation for intricate designs, for multicolored designs, and you don't have to do any additional steps to bring the actual design to life. Once you print it, once you press it, you are all done. So those are totally pros, and I think I have 4 of them. All right, let's talk about the cons of sublimation. So I will say each shirt that I held up was polyester, because if you know a little bit about sublimation, one of the first things you'll know is we need to have a higher count of polyester to cotton. And of course, the higher the better. So 60 polyester, 40 cotton is going to do well, but 100% polyester is going to be even better. The less amount of polyester, the fabric tends to fade over time. And both of these are, my examples that I showed you earlier are 100% polyester. And I like this one because it gave me some color, and the design was able to play off of the color that was already in the shirt. So the shirt is already ombre, the color is there, but except it, in order for this design to come to life, the fabric had to be 100% poly, well, it don't have to be, y'all, like I said, 60-40, but the polyester count does have to be high. Other than that, you're going to get like a faded vintage type look, and if that's not what you're going for, you could be highly disappointed. So fabric limitations is definitely a con. Also, you may have noticed that the examples that I showed you were both white, because you also have color limitations. So you cannot sublimate directly onto dark color fabrics. There is a way to do it. That's another video. If you guys want to see me do that, let me know, because I will create a video for you. But the best thing to sublimate on, or rather the best color to sublimate on, is going to be white to light colors. So if I did decide to sublimate on in the pink section, I probably would use black, because that's going to show up the best. Other than that, you can tell here I definitely kept everything above, and it did come down into the pink there a little bit. And because the pink that I sublimated with is darker than the ombre effect at the bottom here, it still came through very vibrantly. Now, the last con, what do I have here? It can be an investment, y'all. So the initial cost of your equipment. So for dye sublimation, you are definitely going to need sublimation ink. You are going to need a printer that is capable to print sublimation. You are going to need a heat press, and there are various size and types of heat presses. So you want to make sure that you pick out the right one for you. You definitely do need paper, and then of course your blanks. But it is going to be an investment when you first dive into the world of sublimation. So with that being said, it depends on how you look at it. If it's for business, yes, it's an investment. You knew this was going to be initial cost. But if you end up going down a rabbit hole and was like, I just wanted to do one shirt, you might quickly find out it's like, well, do you want to do one shirt, or do you want to make more money off of this? Because you're going to have to put up some money to ensure that you could just do that one shirt. All right, guys, so that is all that I have for sublimation. Let's go ahead and talk about the pros of a vinyl here. So I'm going to move these shirts. I'm going to toss them over here, get them on out the way, because we don't need them anymore. The next few shirts that I have are all vinyl. So let's talk about a pro first. And I want to share about durability. So let's take a look here on this shirt. So I made this shirt. I love it, guys. It was for senior night for my son. It was last year, one of the last games that he played in as a high school basketball player. He is now a college basketball player. Anyway, that's a story for another time. This is 100% vinyl. And like I said, this is about versatility. So it does not have to be on 100% cotton or 100% polyester, or you don't have to necessarily pay attention to the ratio of the polyester to cotton, because it can be applied. Vinyl can be applied to a range of fabrics. So like I mentioned, polyester, cotton, different blends. It works well on both light and dark color fabrics too. So in that regard, it does open up a world for you and does not keep you like in a tiny box as sublimation would. Now, my next point is it is ideal for like small batches or either small runs. So say for instance, you are making a single item and personalizing like one t-shirt, maybe 10, because I recently did do 10 and it was a pretty simple design. Vinyl is good for that, but when you get into like real intricate designs and you're trying to do maybe 50 of them, maybe not so much. But for those one-offs and those twos and fews, I really do think that it is good for small batches. Now, another thing that I like about vinyl is the feel, the textured feel. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, in this particular design, I did use gold as glitter gold, and then glitter in the purple. And I love, you can even hear it, I love the texture there. But for the outline, that is flat black, and that's really smooth. And then for our words here, my heart is on that court. Is that what that says? Yeah, my heart is on that court. This I used glitter for, and then you could feel it. So if you love to feel the design on your fabric, vinyl is definitely going to be a way to go. Also, with this particular design here, I use puff vinyl, and I have noticed I haven't gotten my puff vinyl to show up very well on camera, but trust and believe, there is some texture here. It adheres to the fabric really, really well, and it's also going to give us a thicker feel. And I like I like that. I like to feel it. So honestly, when it comes to me doing like vinyl shirts or sublimation, my husband prefers vinyl, and then he likes the puff vinyl because it's more textured and it gives him like a heavier feel. Now, let's see, what else do I have here? And then the other thing about vinyl is the different options. So we can do glitter vinyl, we can do puff vinyl. We also have holographic vinyl, like in this one here. I like that. That is so dope. And then of course you have the regular HTV that is just flat, and you can just, I like to do it like as outlines or in between, or sometimes it is the entire design depending upon what I'm doing. Another point to that, another pro is going to be the detail that you can add. So you don't want to get too intricate with vinyl, or rather HTV, but you can like do the layering type situation where you have your outlines, you have different colors and things like that. But that can get into being a little bit more labor intensive, which actually is probably a con. So let's go ahead and move into our cons. So I guess I'll start at the bottom, because I did say labor intensive, because when I think about layering, the pro of layering is it's good for like small batches or small runs. But then if you have a multi-order thing, you might want to keep that to a single layer, and it's not really going to be that efficient to have a very intricate design and you got to make 100 of them. So in that regard, the vinyl, or rather the HTV, may not be the best for larger batches. Also, a con for the HTV could be durability, and I want to show you guys this one. So I absolutely do love the holographic HTV, but on this particular shirt, it is definitely given weathered. It's a little crinkled, and when I iron it, it does not it did not like flatten out. Now, this particular brand is one of my favorites, so I don't have any lifting or pilling, but I can't get it to lay flat anymore. So the durability, depending upon the brand, can end up an issue. Now, I think I've mentioned to you guys before, I usually use Cricut brand or either HTV Ryan. Those are my road dogs. I can tell you this chameleon vinyl here is HTV Ryan. So there is no lifting, but except it is showing a little bit of, I don't want to say weathering, because the color's not faded. There is no lifting, but it's a little crinkly, right? And then some cheaper vinyls, I will say, have completely lifted. So when I first started out, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just randomly buying things online, and there was a brand I came across, and of course, why would I remember it now? But I made a batch of onesies for the grandbaby. And you know, I later on heard, yeah, the letter is coming off, but I just smashed it back on down, and I was like horrified. I was like, oh no, you know, this is a gift and it's coming apart. So guys, you definitely want to do your test and research on what vinyls work best for the type of fabrics that you are putting it on, because it could turn out to be a little bit of a letdown or a disaster, especially if you're giving gifts. So yeah, durability is a con, but just know, you know, what you're doing with the material when you use it. It could be limited detail design, and I kind of touched on that a little bit earlier. So my second point in this is limited detail designs, because you don't want to get too intricate and layer too much or too many small lines, because it's just not efficient. It could take a lot of time, and it could be challenging when it comes to actually cutting the vinyl. So you definitely want to like kind of steer clear away from that. Like I said, when I do vinyl details, they're not very intricate, but I still am able to make it, you know, cute and impactful without getting like 100 layers. We don't want to do that. Now let's see. I mentioned this as a pro earlier because it is a pro for me. I mentioned like the feel, but it is going to be thicker as compared to sublimation. So like I said earlier, sublimation becomes a part of the fabric, but when you're dealing with vinyl, you're going to be able to feel it. And if you're using puff vinyl, you are really going to be able to feel it, which I personally like that. But if you are not a fan of, like, say, the raised design and being able to hear the design and it just feels like it's sitting on top of the fabric, perhaps the vinyl is not for you. Let's see. So, oh yeah, I actually started with my last point first when it came to a con. So that is actually all the cons that I have for vinyl. Okay, let me share my final thoughts about sublimation. I'm going to show you this shirt because it actually is one of my favorite ones. So sublimation is best for vibrant, soft, and durable prints on light color polyester. Now, when it comes to vinyl transfer or HTV, it's very versatile and it's good for small orders or custom designs on any color fabric. But remember, it may not last as long as sublimation because it doesn't become a part of the fabric. It just sits on there. And then the complexity of the design definitely does have to be taken into consideration. But guys, there are 3 things that I want you to think about when you are deciding between sublimation or HTV, and that is fabric type, design complexity, and the desired durability of the actual piece itself. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. I just want to share with you my pros and cons of sublimation versus HTV. If you have anything to add, i.e., no, I use sublimation because, or no, I prefer vinyl because, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I would definitely love to hear from you guys. And guys, remember, if you got any questions, concerns, emotional outbursts, let me know. If you found this video helpful or just plain old entertaining, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Stay colorful, stay creative, and find joy in the little things you do. Until next time, peace.